Yo, 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 what's up, all you burners, stoners, and potheads, and especially all you gardeners out there? This is Mr. Weedman and Big Earl with the Grow Hour. Big Earl, my brother, how the hell are you?
What's up? I am very good. How are you, man?
I'm stoked because this is our 1-year anniversary party. It's
Yeah.
just you and I, and guess what we're about to do?
Get stoned.
Get baked, get baked, get baked with one another, my friend. I'm super stoked, man. You went camping yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Tell us about all the. What did you smoke yesterday besides trying to smoke enough to get all those fucking mosquitoes away from you? You were telling me about.
That was a tactic I tried. We went out, we got a fire going. I was like, I'm throwing all these leaves on this fire, smoking this out. We're getting these out of here. But dude, it was awesome. It was a little mosquito-y, but me, I took the dogs out and the wife and listened to the coyotes howl all night and got down to like mid 50s, low 70s during the day. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Nice. I love it. What are you smoking on right now, my friend?
I am smoking on Stanky Kush Breath from the last line. I just got a lot of that trimmed up. When I did so many phenols, it takes me so long because I got to try one in between each plant. You know how it is. But, oh, so good. Very strawberry-y, but so good. What about you? You said you were smoking on something new that you got.
Your peach stank number 33.
Yeah.
Look at the size of this bud. It's bigger than my big old honker. Look at that.
She was a beaster, bro. She's
oh my gosh.
out.
Dude, it smells like fucking peaches, bro. Literally, like when Mrs. Weeman and I smoked this yesterday too last night, and it literally, I'm like, it smells like fucking like a peach tree.
Yeah. You know,
like,
I have my wife, excuse me. She smells most of the bag and she says, that smells like weed. That smells like weed. And when she tells me, yeah, in the jar, oh, that smells like this, then I know, hey, this is the one. So, yeah, she loves the peach and the strawberry too. That the Stanky Kush Breath, I should have put strawberry in the name somewhere because all the expressions came out very strawberry dominant.
I will have to say, tastes very nice. Nice mellow high, not too uppity, not too down, just nice and mellow, even keel. It wasn't a good sleeping strain last night though, because it just, like I said, it's a very mellow strain, very relaxing, but it kept me like, yeah, it kept my mind going a little bit, which is fine, but not at like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't want that.
Yeah,
so, but delicious. Yeah, this is a great strain. Like if you're like chilling, playing backgammon, watching movies, that you're not ready to go to sleep yet, but ready to like just chill, relax. This is the strain. Because that stanky, the peach, where does the peach come from?
The papaya. So the peach comes, the peachy keen mom of that is from a buddy of mine up here, Secret Society. I've been doing testing a bunch of stuff for him for a long time. He was lived like a half hour down the road from me, and now he's only about an hour and a half down the road from me. But and the mom of that was the original papaya, and that's where he brought the peach from, which was obviously for super dominant because it stayed in like all of its. The peachy keen mom is dominant in all the expressions that I've grown out of that peach stank so far.
Okay. And then the stank is from the Stanky Haze?
Yeah, that's where you're getting a little bit of that like funk, a little of the sweetness on the back end. And it's a really great smoke, that Stanky Haze, I feel like.
I love the OG Stanky Haze that you gave me. Oh my God, I can smoke that all day. That shit's the best.
I wish I would have kept that for fucking ever if I had the garden. But it was just one of those things where I had that plant, I had F2s of it, and then I grew out this entire line. My entire line was the same lineage. I was like, okay, I need to get back into some of my other plants for a second. But yes, that F1 was great for like in every way.
So where does the Stanky Haze come from?
The Stanky Haze is a Stankosaurus plant, which is from Thug Pug. The selection there, the female was like very dense flower, not super great structure, honestly, on that female, but I was just looking for this particular like raunch in front of the haze, honestly, of the Ice Queen haze oh no, the ice cream haze was the mom. It was the stanky haze to the chilled wine haze. So,
Gotcha.
and that chilled wine haze just blasted everything with really nice flower structure, real big flowers, always super like terpy for sure, but more like, I don't know if you would call it like the great Instagram picture, like frosted out, very dark underneath, grinded to cool colors, like all that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's nice, man. Like I said, that big nug that I smelled, the peach is. But I do enjoy the Stanky Haze a lot, just that strain too. But this is a good matchup. What does the number 33 stand for?
So I do. So first off, it's a little controversial how I do my numbers, but I do it because I fuck things up. So every new strain I have, I progress both numbers. So one strain, if I'm hunting through 5 or 6 strains, right, and I got, let's say, 7 or 8 seeds of each, I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of one, and then the next one will be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then the next strain will be 20, 21, 22, and that's just so that I've had numbers wipe off before and then I'm like, I don't have any idea what this is. So as long as I can have one side of each of those numbers, it helps me deduct that. Like come to like some reasoning where I can say, okay, I might not know exactly which one this is, but I know it's a 20 number, so I know it's this strain. I just can't, but then I can go through and I can say, well, I have 7 of these plants, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26, 27. Okay, I know this is 24, even though I only have the 2. So that's why I started doing that. Writing down all the names and stuff on the tags is just I would get all jumbled up. Putting one number, I was having that half erased, and like it just helps me a lot. So when I say 33, that's the 3rd strain that I popped in that time, and that was the 3rd plant of that strain.
Gotcha. So so I wouldn't say it's controversial. I would say that's how it works for you.
Yeah.
If you find a system that works for you, maybe that system that you created is what will help somebody like understand for themselves, because everyone's mind works different, and it's not easy when you have a lot of plants to try to keep track of, and I like that system. That's actually a smart way to do it.
It's just like backing it up a little bit for me. But
Yeah.
I've never had anybody complain about it. What I could see people saying is, well, generally 33 would mean that you've got 33 of these plants, and this is the 33rd one. But for me, it's just the 3rd. Unless I'm hunting more than 10, then it'll go like 20 to 34 or whatever, and then I'll start my next one in the 40s and just document that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works. It works better for me. I haven't had like plants where I'm like, I have no idea where this is since I've started that method, so I stick with it.
It's if like I said, if it works, don't try to fix what's broke.
Yeah.
Or if it's not broken,
Yeah, that's why I
So
did not hunt through 33 of those. Most of my selections are less than 10. Most of my selections, I'm popping 10 to 12 plants, so they're coming from 5 or 6 females.
there you go. That's a good little system right there. That's simplistic at its finest right there. For me, I'd be able to understand that system. So this is our 1-year anniversary episode, and we're gonna get baked.
Yeah.
Really baked.
Talk about a year, bro. Can't believe
Yeah,
it's a year already.
I do it a year, and we're at episode 30. This is episode 34 of the Grow Hour, and we're just gonna get baked and talk some shit. This is our burping in the bag. We're just gonna say so every year. The next year, year 2, that will be our next burping in the bag. So this is just going to be our talk to first and foremost say thank you, everybody out there who's been listening to the show. We appreciate you more than you know. I mean, like, I'm a newbie.
And it's all you guys that make it that way.
Yeah, coming on Discord with us and hanging out with us a couple times. We've done Discord. All the guests that we've had on to take time out of their busy schedules and busy lives and to take time away from their grow, their families, just to spend an hour and a half with us. And some of these growers and breeders and pollen chuckers and people in the industry, been on 3 times now.
Yeah. And they're busy and it is.
Yeah.
They're
yeah, and they all got their own lives, and they all got their own Instagrams, and some of them do their own shows, and take the time out, and to thank also Big Earl for going on their shows too, and hanging out with them, and doing some of their Instagram podcast and showing face and building the Grow Hour with their stuff too. So kudos to you, Big Earl, for like really doing that and building a nice community of gardeners and pollen checkers and growers and breeders and newbie growers, and just to building a cool ass little community of people to, what you've been doing and getting people to understand breeding and growing, because I couldn't do this fucking show alone. So,
Well,
so
and me neither, man. Like, so thank you, because it's all this, like you said, it's like a community being built, and so we we're having fun, and people are supporting, and we're just kicking it, bro. That's what I feel like. Like, it's like, oh, we're gonna go have a smoke sesh, except I'm just sitting in a room with a screen in front of me instead of, it's the same, shit. We're not smoking
yeah.
the same joint. That's about it. But we're smoking the same weed.
Yeah, we are. And getting baked and having some fun. I'm high as fuck right now, too. So the thing cool about this show is we don't have to. That peach stank is nice. Like I told you, it gets you so mellow, but it keeps you fucking up here being able to function a little bit.
Yeah.
But it makes me like just mellow. Like,
that was the
it's
best
so
thing
nice.
about the stanky haze. I felt like
yeah, absolutely.
It was such a multi-dimensional smoke. From its changing flavors in a joint for me, like it would start really piney, and then that pine would turn a little bit more hashy, but you get more sweetness, and then it would go hashy. Where a lot of the other flavor, like the other smokes, the other joints, if you get a change in flavor, it's usually just straight hashy. You don't get the multiple changes.
Right.
I love it with all of its offspring.
It's good shit. So going back to, yes, thank you everybody.
Yes,
we appreciate you. So we want to talk about each guest who've been on the show real quick, and just thank each one of them. But we're going to talk a little bit about Terp Fiend. So I want to thank you, Terp. And you came on episode 5 and talked about breeding. Big Earl, you remember something that he taught? I remember something that really hit me. And he has a lot of knowledge in the industry.
Yeah.
In general, not only just about breeding and selling seeds and breeding seeds, and he knows a lot about growing. He knows a lot about the industry. He knows a lot about hash. He knows a lot about everything, and it's great. And he's got a lot of knowledge. So for him to come on the show, I appreciate you. And the one thing I took from that was, besides all the knowledge that he shared, the one thing I'll say was when we asked him about if he'd ever do autos or fems, and he said absolutely not. He goes, I don't care if people take from my regs and make their own breeds out of them or whatever. I don't care. I'm always going to do that. I'm OG. I'm old school. So that's the one thing I took away. Now, everybody's thing changes eventually. I don't know if he'll ever change or not, but kudos if he sticks to his ways and 20 plus years in the industry, and kudos to you, Terpenes. Thanks for being on the show.
What I loved about, because we talked about autos and regulars a couple times. He's probably tired of hearing us talk about it with his name, but he didn't not do it because he didn't like Autoflowers. I appreciated that he didn't do it because he feels the personal connection with the regs better, and that's what his passion is. And he felt if he went to Autoflowers, he'd be going away from his passion, where other people have that passion a little more.
Right.
And I respect the fuck out of that, and it's awesome. And that was an awesome show. We've had a couple other shows. I've been on his show a couple times, but yeah, Terp was awesome.
Yep.
Talking with him.
And then we got Magic Beans, Nick from Magic Beans, and Jared from Greenfin about nutrients. That was a fun show too, and I learned a lot from Jared, especially about his whole entire aquaponic system he has and how he makes his amendment, the Greenfin amendment, with the fish poo, with the 2,700 pounds, 27,000 pounds, or 2,700 pounds. I think he said 2,700 pounds of tilapia that make the fish poop.
Yeah.
And he uses that fish poop and makes the amendment, but he grows all different plants in his garden. It's edible stuff, all aquaponics, and it's all, what do you say, 33,000 gallons fish pond aquarium. I mean, and it's all circulated through that and through the plant. Amazing. And we were supposed to go down there and see them, and we didn't go, unfortunately.
We need to.
But we still go. Yeah. I mean, well, my story soon. I'll be visiting them soon. So, but yeah, so I'd like to thank Jared and then Nick. Nick, what am I gonna say? I want to say thanks to Nick for being on the show, but also staying on the Discord with you for like
Oh,
4 hours,
yeah.
banging that Discord out. That was a great night. I stayed on. I got tired. It was a long day for me. I left around 11, and you guys were still banging out for like 4 hours. So I mean, kudos, thanks Nick for that, and thanks for throwing us packs of seeds to Terp too, but also Nick, thanks for throwing us all those seeds for the giveaway, and talking the industry. You talked a lot about skunk. skunk, 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 skunk.
Yeah.
Give me that skunk.
Yeah.
So I found you some skunk seeds from 1996, and I don't know if you ever found out or bought them or not, Nick. But kudos to you, brother. Thanks for coming on the show and talking shit and having a good night with us, and talking about nutrients. The two of you guys, we appreciate you. It's episode 7 of the Grow Hour. So
Yeah, it was episode 7. Man, it's crazy. It seems like so long ago. That was a badass episode. And Nick too. We've been talking a little bit. He has some fun stuff coming up. So something a little bit that he hasn't had. I don't think. So look out for Magic Beans. He's got some fun stuff I know of for sure coming up here soon. But thank you, dude. That was a fun shows, both of you, Jared and Nick.
my guy, our friend, who I cannot wait to go out and meet him one day, and his awesome wife, Deb. I'll name her first. And she's about to have a baby soon. So I'm mentioning Deb first because she's the shit. And then we have Mr. Mike Strait on from Strait Genetics and Slept on Seed Bank.
Yeah.
Fucking dope ass motherfucker. Mike,
awesome.
I fucking love Mike. You make some good motherfucking hashish. I appreciate it. Delicioso. So if anybody needs some fucking hashish, talk to Mr. Mike Strait, or you want to know about it, reach out to him at Strait Genetics. He's the shit. And we talked about IPM, and this was episode 8 or 8.2, just because Big Earl and I talked about IPM, and then we had him on to talk about it. But so episode 8 of the Grow Hour, IPM. It was a good episode. We talked a little bit about sulfur. I remember we talked about sulfur a lot, and but it was more about getting to know Mike to me, and we spent a good amount of time talking, just shooting the shit with him, and and he's been on Burping the Bag. And he was also on the round table, him and Terp Fiend. What a fucking phenomenal episode. If you haven't listened to the round table yet, but with him and Terp, great stuff. But he's made some really good cherry strains, and some of the stuff I learned about him. And I have to say, Mike Strait, you're close to my heart, brother. And I cannot wait to come out and smoke some big fat doinks with you, and fucking smoke some hash with you, and get to see that little baby of yours running around. So we appreciate you, Mike, being on the show 3 times, and dude, you're the man. I appreciate you, man.
Fuck yeah. That was a cool episode. I really appreciate how he grows in those totes. I don't know if you remember, it was an IPM episode, but we were talking about his totes a lot.
Yeah.
It's a cool episode. But yeah, I appreciate you too, Mike. Me and Mike have been talking for a long time. Like, probably one of the first dudes that I was really like running a ton of his gear, and everything's really nice, and you can't go wrong with anybody that we're gonna have on. Really, everybody I think we've been friends with or known like before the show, at least one of us, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 people. So, but yeah, that was a cool show. I'm excited to have everybody on. We were talking about like doing like everybody once a year. I don't remember this a little while ago. Like, well, maybe we'll have everybody on once a year after we do the Burping the Bag and everything. And I can tell you, all of our guests, I'm super geeked to talk to again.
Yeah, absolutely. And see how their years have been going. So, and then we had John Aiden.
So yeah, from Andon, yeah,
from Andon, and Atmosphere episode Grow Hour 10. And John, you're a cool dude. 1 year home grower, love it. You talked about your home grow too, and then I learned so much about humidity, and I learned about what your company from Andon does, and how the seeing your pictures too on Instagram of these big grow ops that you're doing the Atmosphere for, and how that needs to be treated in the equipment that you sell. It was a great episode. If you haven't checked it out, John, thank you again. Episode Grow Hour 10, Atmosphere.
Yeah, that was a cool episode. John helps me a lot. I'll give John this credit. I don't know if I've said this yet. I talked about green lights before, where I talked about my experience, and it necessarily wasn't the correct experience, and I don't really know what happened in my experience, but green lights do not. Your plants can recognize green light, and John pointed that out to me, and I appreciate you. I know that doesn't have anything to do with humidity, but he sent me some studies and stuff. I was like, holy shit! I was like, I was coming from where I've accidentally left my green lights on before for days, and been like, oh, and not seen herms and stuff. The only science that could maybe be behind that is that it takes less. I don't even know the whole science, but I've heard somebody mention that like green light is like less powerful in some kind of certain way to where more wattage might be needed for the plant to recognize it, but it can definitely be recognized by your plant. So if you're shining some bright ass green lights on them,
I remember that. I remember you telling me about that. That was dope as fuck.
But yeah, the green light will fucking herm your shit out. I got lucky in my case, so John gave me the knowledge for that.
What's the machines calls he sells again? I can't remember.
The Andon dehumidifiers.
Thank you. That's it.
I think they do more than dehues, but I know just from being in the industry, Andon is like top notch. That's why I wanted to have them on, because they're a pretty badass company, and they stick to their morals, and at least from what I've seen, and they are somebody that you can support and know that you're getting the best that's out there.
Nice. Hummingbird Hills, my man from the south side of Chicago, growing in Dan Ryan Woods. My man, I cannot wait to smoke some weed and some hash with this man. I love him. He is the best. He is my hero. Grown in the Dan Ryan Woods, Southside scumbag like myself, a Southside scumbag, the two of us. I love that I got to meet somebody and have him on the show from the South motherfucking side of Chicago. My man, Hummingbird Hills, I love everything about you, everything you do. You're the best. I don't even talk about anything else. He's been on the show twice. We talked about Autoflowers, and he knows his shit, and that little plant that Mrs. Weedman grew all came from his fucking genetics that Big Earl put together with pollen chucked and came out some great stuff. But phenomenal storytelling, phenomenal human being. Got a nice bald round head like me, smooth as fuck, just dope as motherfucker. I cannot wait to go meet him and hang out with him. But this was episode 18. And he is also on the round table. We still haven't done his burping in the bag yet, but he's coming on. Yeah. And he's a funny motherfucker, because the after talk shows, we had him on for like an hour and a half after the last episode because his download was slow, so we couldn't let him off. And we were just both shooting the shit for an hour and a half after the show, getting baked, had me rolling, had me laughing. Just one of the coolest motherfuckers ever. Hummingbird Hills, I appreciate you big time, brother. And just Big Earl, go ahead.
Yeah, no, dude, Hummingbird's the shit. That's literally who I've tried Autoflowers a few times before I met him, and he gave me tips where I like saw the potential in them, and that's why I used most of his gear. Honestly, like I used a male from him and a female from him, so literally my entire first line was at least half his. And then one of the crosses was literally two of his lines. And so, yeah, and I sent him a bunch of seeds, and I think he was happy with it all. And they've all been so good. I've from germination rate to expression to everything, haven't had anybody complain yet, which is rare, I think.
Good stuff, man.
They're all really, really good. So I appreciate Hummingbird, and I actually need to send him some of this newer stuff, because since my whole first line was pretty much like 3/4 of his shit. That means that everything I worked with from that is like partial his too. So one of my favorite things ever is giving the breeder back the seeds, saying, "Hey, here's what I made," because they can go through them then too, and it's a lot of fun. They say, "Oh, I see this in there." And it's fun to get them from other people too, because you can say, "Hey, here's what I see in there. You must have brought this in there." It's like a little game almost, but a game of dank.
Hummingbird, we appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Rachel from Deep Roots. What a special human being. So proud of her starting her own business. She's got a great story and how she got into where she's at today. check out that episode on Viroids on episode Grow Hour 20. She's also done the Burping in the Bag, and she's coming back on the roundtable with Riley Kirk. We're super stoked to get them back, get them both on. But Rachel, man, I learned so much on both episodes. I love talking the medicinal stuff with you on the Burping in the Bag and all like the Eastern medicine and oh my gosh, that was amazing. And then your business that you have, and I'll let Deep Roots, I'll let Big Earl because he's taken a couple of your classes, and then what I learned about the viroid, the high latent viroid disease from you, and how it's spreading and how it's spread, and you know what you have to do to make sure that you don't get it, you know. So awesome episode, Rachel. We appreciate you so much. And also a home grower, retired kind of, but you home growed for a while and did some caregiving, right? She did some caregiving too for a minute, I think, from what I remember, or mostly home growing. But appreciate the hell out of you, Rachel. You were awesome. I cannot wait to have you on for the roundtable with Riley Kirk. I think it's gonna be a fantastic episode. So go ahead, Big Girl. You know her better than me, so this was special.
Yeah, this was our first episode that wasn't like direct to growing the plant, and I think it was badass. Rachel's awesome. Her classes are awesome. I think I said it a bunch of times when we were talking, but tissue culture, synthetic seeds, so much stuff, and she doesn't just show you how to do it. She shows you things to look out for. It's a whole like there's like a whole folder of knowledge that you take with you, a whole physical folder that you take with you. You do all the stuff in hand, and it's just makes it so much easier. You know, if you can keep biggest thing take out of it, if you can keep your shit sterile, you can do all the tissue cloning, all the whatever you need pretty easily. That's all, you know. But yes, it was an awesome episode. Thank you, Rachel. I'm geeked about having her back on. We've had her Bourbon in the Bag, which was badass too. But hopefully we can get a date for both of them soon, and it'll be a badass episode.
Trichome Jungle, man, our man overseas, over in Spain. Great story, phenomenal breeder, phenomenal everything I've learned from him. But here's what I'm going to say: I want to thank you, Trichome, for one, after the first mishap on the first recording, and you came back on and gave us more of your time on a busy schedule, and we had to record again the same episode. We had to record it again because the first episode didn't download. Into the recording studio we use, online recording studio. So thank you for coming on twice to record the first episode we did with you. And that was episode 21 of the Grow Hour, Cannabis Around the World in Spain. And then you came on and did your Burping in the Bag, and it was awesome. I love all your jewelry that you make, all the different carvings and stuff. Dude, you're one dope motherfucker. Originally from the UK, went to Spain to pursue breeding, and your travels, what you have coming next, dude, from what you were telling me is amazing, dude. You're one dope ass motherfucker. I appreciate you talking just cannabis around the world, your breeding projects, everything you're doing, everything you've done in Spain. It's fucked up that you couldn't get that, you couldn't get what you needed to stay there. But dude, go travel the world, go learn more, go grow more, go breed more, dude. Take your jewelry around the world. People will buy that up, dude. Those frogs that you make are so dope. And your artistic form towards what you do for your breeds to go out, and how you did some special stuff to send your packaging out is dope as fuck. But dude, everything you talked about on our shows was banging, dude. So we appreciate you. I love the gold teeth. We got to see you afterwards and talk more. So we were talking gold teeth and what we got, which was dope. And your tats are fucking dope, dude. And also, sorry for your loss, our friend. You're so we appreciate you, and sorry for your loss too. So Big Earl.
Dude, yeah, that was heartbreaking to hear, brother. Yeah, badass show. I appreciate we're 7 hours apart. You're 8 hours apart, and I'm 7 hours apart from Trichome, and so he had to get on rather late, at his time, and he was a badass about it twice. And Divan Creation.
Three times.
Oh, yeah.
Three times he recorded it. Yeah. Tree.
But yeah, dude, appreciate you. I think we just got some seeds that we're going to actually be doing a little giveaway. I know we'll talk about some shit soon, but from him.
Yeah, his seeds are going to become very valuable out there, people, for a hot minute. um, so go ahead, Earl. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. That's he's got his seeds are. I've Tricone was one of the first dudes that was like that I found. You know, when I really got there's I was growing weed like in a closet under a little not even a ceramic, like a metal not even a metal halide. Sorry, not a halogen bulb maybe or something like a very fucking long time ago. But when I first got into it, like enough to be into the culture, Tricon was the first breeder that I found that wasn't somebody else telling me, "Hey, you should check this guy out." I can't remember honestly how I came across him, but I came across him, started loving his shit, got some of his stuff. Loved all of it. Like and it's all like you said, super artistic and dope. And I appreciate you, man. And I'm geeked to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, me too. Dave for Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
Adjacent Industry, Grow Hour episode 24. Really good story. Man of all different trades. A kung fu master.
Yeah.
Love it. A gem cutter.
Yo.
A home grower. Worked in a shop for home growers, right? Garden shop.
Yep.
Ran
a head shop.
Head
like
shop.
And shit. Yeah.
Yep. And then he was in dispensary for a minute.
Yep.
And then he created what strain?
He is the creator of the Ice Queen Haze, which is the mother of the Chilled Wine Haze, which is the father of the Stanky Haze that I've come to super love, and I think some other people have.
So, Dave, it was a great talk. Just super dope to have you on the show. We still got to get you on for a burping in the bag, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
I want to talk about his gem cutting though more and his way of the kung fu. I got to ask him if he's a Kaio. So, but super cool story. Been growing since like 96, breeding since 96 and growing. So got some ocean grown on him, some OG on him. So that's pretty dope. So Dave, I know Earl, you've known him for a long time, and so is Rachel from Deep Roots, because her studio office is in the shop that he's at, that she does all of her testing and stuff like that, her classes and stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they
so
it's probably the coolest shop you'd ever see, because you walk in, you have like a lapidary set up in the front. I'm gonna paint. It's Tree Town Treasure in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'll paint the picture of his shop because it's super dope. You walk in, there's a lapidary, like to cut gemstones set up front, like all thousands of rocks, like from like a couple bucks, like I don't even know what type. I don't want to say like Jasper's only a couple bucks, but like rocks from a few bucks, all the way up to whatever you need. There's like a little vintage area. There's lab testing in the back, which I think is just a receiving area now, but still super dope. So if you have like testing you need done, you can take it there and they can tell you Viroids or clone your shit or whatever you need to do. That's Rachel's part. And art all over the wall, fucking all kinds of dope shit, dude. Super cool store.
Yeah, it was a good show. I can't wait to see the shop. I can't wait to come out to where you're at one day and get to go to their store and see all that shit, dude. Because it was a good episode. I can't wait to have him back on for a burping in the bag show. Yeah. Our main man, Alabrije.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Feminized Autoflowers, episode Grow Hour 25, and he's already done his burping in the bag that he was on, and he did the round table with our man at Hummingbird. Yeah. What a fucking an amazing episode. So so Alabrije, dude, you are a fucking dope dude, man. I cannot wait to go smoke some hash with you. Your knowledge, not only just on Autoflowers and feminized Autoflowers, but dude, you're a multi fucking cultural person, man. Chef, I loved what you talked about when I caught you off guard and asked you what was the favorite, and you sput it like that, like you didn't even stutter. You knew exactly what it fucking was, that meal. So kudos to you for first knowing that. Two, dude, your dog saving for dogs on the streets in Mexico, for saving the pups, dude. Love you, amazing. And then one day if I ever make money at this or anything I do, I would love to help you out with that. So kudos to you on that, and your volunteer work for that. Coffee maker, phenomenal. Roaster, love it. Cannot wait to try to sit and have you're always drinking tea or coffee. I cannot wait to have a cup of coffee with you and smoke a big fat doink or some hash. And then your wife is a pottery maker.
That's some super
phenomenal
stuff.
Yeah, super dope stuff. And then you're a pollen chucker, breeder, gardener, and you got some fucking artwork for your that you send out. Dude, you take really good pride in your artwork, that in your design work that you do for your seed sales, for your bean sales. Phenomenal, Albrie. Dude, your pins, I gotta get with you and fucking do a pin trade with you. And some sticker trades and a t-shirt trade, because I want one of your shirts too. So dude, phenomenal. Appreciate you on your coming back on for Bourbon in the Bag, which was another phenomenal show. We talked about hash. We talked about what you're doing in growing the medicinal cannabinoid plants and what you're going to be doing. Oh, dude, phenomenal. I love both of those talks, dude. You're the man. I cannot wait to land in a big farm one day to be able to grow some of that stuff. When we talked about, all the different cannabinoids you're going to be trying to incorporate into your grows and into your beans for people. Oh, phenomenal. Big Earl?
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. Albrecht, I appreciate you, bro. You're the shit. He's the feminizing part too, just like dude, it's all the timing, helping with the timing and everything. That's literally everything. The spray is pretty easy. That timing, dude, with Autoflowers is fucking everything. You let them go in a solo cup, few days too long, week too long, your plants are stunted. You get, it's everything with those autos. So I look forward to keep chatting with you, man, and have you back on. And stuff.
I learned a lot. A couple of things I never knew what he taught us about, man, was pretty sick. Like where I had to stop for a second. I'm like, dude, you taught me something right there that I had not heard before. So yeah, dude, dope deep talk, dude. It was fucking awesome. Dr. Riley Kirk, fucking awesome. Phenomenal show. It wasn't even about, it was about cannabis, but it was about growing your own food and doing your own soil. And episode Grow Hour 31. So Dr. Riley Kirk, we really appreciate you coming on the show and talking the shit about soil, about trapping, about how you try to get 60% of your food through some way of doing it yourself. I mean, like, you live off the land, and your little spots you like to grow in, which is awesome. Your home grow, your hash smoking, your just knowledge of the plant, your knowledge of cannabinoids, your knowledge of your nose, 400 sensory glands in your nose or something. I can't remember. I'm kind of baked, but I remember she said that something about the nose being 400 something. I should know this because I knew it. Yeah, it's the receptors. Yeah, and you breathe through your olfactory gland. That so follow your nose. It always knows, as Toucan Sam would say. So, Dr. Riley Kirk, we can't wait to have you back on for your burp in the bag and your roundtable discussion. I think we're going to have you on with Rachel from Deep Roots, and I think it's going to be a phenomenal episode. So we really appreciate you talking with us and just really taking time out and going out of your way to get on the show with us. We appreciate it because you're a podcaster too. You also do a lot of social media, talking and teaching and education. So also you're what you went to school for too originally. So appreciate you, Dr. Riley Kirk. Thank you.
Yeah. No, yeah. I don't know if you're not supposed to talk about other shows or not or whatever, but everything that I've seen, Dr. Riley Kirk, I don't know. Everything she's put out has been like very easy to consume, right to the point, worded well, understandable. Like just it's hard. Like the hardest part of all this, I think, is like articulating what you're trying to really get across, you know? Like even with our episodes, like at first we're like, okay, we're gonna go through the grows. Okay, well now what are we trying what are we trying to get out there, you know? And everything's very easily digestible that she puts out. So I was really excited to have her on, and I'm excited to talk with her again in the future. So I appreciate you. Yeah.
It tastes like fucking peachy keen ice cream or some shit right now in my mouth. It's fucking amazing. Eric, beneficial insectary with beneficial bugs, episode Grow Hour 32. What a great fucking episode. I learned so much shit about fucking bugs. I know he was nerding out too. He would bug nerd. It was fucking amazing.
I fucking nerded out on that episode.
So did I. Nerdy.
I love that episode. He's a badass.
He's a fucking beast, man. Fucking beast. Eric Vander Slews or Slays. Fucking rah.
Yeah.
Beast. Loved it.
Badass episode 32, I think it was. Fucking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beast. It was fucking so cool learning about all the different good mites versus the bad mites and fucking you know, but especially because I love the whole ladybug talk. You know, and how he really dived into that and how, you know, you can do more than just ladybugs.
Yeah, and it's I'm excited. I think we should do something where like he dives deeper into some, if he's willing, you know.
Yeah.
To like individual bugs. Besides that, like, because he talked about so many different bugs, and they were in names that like I don't recognize, and there were so many syllables in those names that I can't pronounce, you know. And it's like I still gotta clap my hands to this day when it comes to syllables. Dude, it's like, man, you hear stuff even like the Bacillus bastiana. I think I even said that wrong still, and I've been using that for so long.
It's a good show. Yeah. We're gonna have him back on Burping in the Bag, right? And I think we're gonna have him on. Yeah. I think we're gonna have him on for a roundtable discussion with somebody who does it differently, not with bugs. They do it with powders and shit, right? I think we're gonna have like a kind of like a talk. Yeah, I think we're gonna do something like that with him too. And so Eric, we appreciate you, brother, coming on the show. And for all of our past guests, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I know Big Earl, man, I appreciate the fuck out of you. But the one person that we have to thank, thankless person, she gets no thank yous at all. I mean, yes, she does. I thank her every fucking time she does work for us. But she is the backbone of both shows. Okay, she is our producer, our editor, our coach, our when we need help on something. She's taught me a shit ton about editing and producing that that I don't know shit about, and she's helped me out with equipment. She lives back here now. Her and Paulie, my son, they live back here now too. So it's not just from Seattle to here. Now she's here and she comes to the house and helps us out when we need it. Shoddy, the producer, thank you. I couldn't do the show without you. I couldn't do either one. So I don't know what I'm doing with editing. You helped me out with Riverside. You helped me out with Audacity. You helped me pick out all the equipment, new equipment that we got, and you helped me set it up to make us sound better. Shoddy, the producer, we love you from the bottom of our heart. Big Earl.
Yes, thank you. I'm very aware without you, this is like not how. Just for anybody, how great this has been, just for me to be on and talk and not even like really have a worry. Like Mr. Weedman helped me through everything, and then Shawty was there to say, you need to try this, you need to try that, do this, do that, with all the sound shit, and made it super, super easy. I think all of our guests, anytime we had a problem, that was who was like, try this, do that. That's how we got the recording from Tricom, right? Wasn't that like something even I didn't even hear? Like, it was just cool. Thank you, super badass.
Yeah, you don't get thanked enough, Shoddy, and we really appreciate you. And actually, not only just a producer for this show, but she's actually a major producer. So she takes her time out of her busy, very busy schedule as being a full-time real producer out there in the world, like doing real shit, and not just the Weedman 420 Chronicles podcast. My goal one day is, if I ever make money, is to pay her to come work for me full time. That's my ultimate goal, because she's the best. So she takes her time out pro bono, let's just say, to do this for us, as she works full fucking 50, 60, 70 hour week fucking production gigs, dealing with very, very hard shows to do. So we appreciate you, Shawty. Thank you. And also, we got to thank our wives, Mrs. Weedman, and we also got to thank Big Earl's wife.
Yep, she puts up with a bunch.
Both of them. And she helps you out a lot with the grow too, right? She's actually the backbone of the Big Earl fucking grow.
Absolutely.
Right?
She helps me with literally everything. Even when things aren't her physically being there to help me, the only reason I can be there to do most of that stuff is because she's doing something else for me. So she's a pretty big badass. And like you said, that the support there is fucking everything. So thank you to the wives. Thank you, Lauren. I love you. She's badass.
And thank you, Mrs. Weedman. I love you. Without you, this show wouldn't have gone. You were supposed to come on episode 15 of the Chronicles and do one show, and now it's 169 coming up tomorrow when we record tomorrow, and you've helped us out with 34 episodes of writing everything for the show, doing all the writing on when we launched the show. She does the writing through Buzzsprout, who we use. So thank you, Buzzsprout, which is our launching platform. And she does all the writing of what the show's about for both shows, the Chronicles. She's a very good writer, phenomenal writer. I couldn't fucking do. I write the show, but she writes and doesn't publishes it for me, and then gets it out there so then I can launch it out on all of our other social media stuff. But Mrs. Weeman, love you. Thank you. Couldn't do either show without you. So thank both of our wives, because if it wasn't for them, they were our backbones. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. And now just a couple things we got coming up. We're booked to the end of the year. We got shows coming all the way till the end of 2023, going into actually probably a little bit 2024. Our next episode, Big Earl, man, I'm super stoked. Thank you for doing this. Who you got to announce this? Who do we got coming up? You went and did the work to get them on, because you've been using their bags. So go ahead. Who do we got coming on?
So we have it was really cool. I was on another show, and we had talked about bags, and I was talking about burping, and the burping, they said try Grove Bag, and I was like, okay, like I've tried to burp a ton of different ways, and I have my way, and it was with fucking turkey bags, and you open them up every day, and when you're doing a hunt, sometimes it's like 40 or 50 fucking bags, bro. And when you say, yeah, I spent 45 minutes today opening bags. And that's not even like counting like the little, by the time you get to the end, you got to go back to the beginning because it's been that 20, 30 minutes, and then tie them all back up. And these bags are dope, dude. Grove bags. And I appreciate you, Mac Blunts, for hooking me up onto those because they're the shit. I ordered them, and like immediately when you're burping, you notice what you're burping for. You open it. It doesn't smell as, weedy as much as you'd like. You fluff that kind of smell out of there, which is CO2, I'm pretty sure, is if I'm remembering that correctly, which I'm sure we're going to talk about on this episode. And then you get that very nice weed smell. And that's if you do it 24 hours. Sometimes people do it 2 times every 24 hours, but I found once every 24 hours for longevity did all right. These fucking bags, you go to them and they just smell good. There's no trapment of this other. I don't know if it's CO2. I think that's what it is. I'm pretty sure is the plant, and we'll get into this in the episode with Grove. As the plant dries, it releases CO2. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, and that's what you're smelling. You burp it out, and it gets that fresh oxygen, and that oxygen is still degrading, just like the CO2 is degrading your plant, and that's really the big sacrifice in the cure. But yeah, these Grove bags, bro. I tell you what, I put them in there. I go to them to smell them just to be like, I can't believe this is still happening. They keep it seems like they keep the humidity pretty well, just about as well as the other bags. But the big thing is whatever they're doing, the curing in this is just fantastic. So we got a hold of the company, and somebody got back to us, and so we have them. We have a guest from them coming on, and super geeked about that. Um, and then I'm super fucking geeked because we've been working on this pretty big segment that we're kind of rounding the year out with, and it's all about breeding. We have lined up.
Get ready. You
Badass.
want to learn now how to breed.
Should we say it?
Tell them.
At least
Tell
I
them
love
who
them.
we're come on.
All of them are fucking awesome people I've been following and been admiring for a long time. But Scapegoat Genetics, UFO Genetics, and we have Mr. Seattle Chronic seeds coming on, and so
so much fun.
So it's gonna be so much fun. We've all been talking about it already. We're splitting it up really cool to where it's like making the seeds first, like things you need to know before you make the seeds and before you actually start to make seeds. Some just tips, some hey, have a spray bottle around, just shit like that, and a little deeper for sure. Then we're doing actual making the seeds, which will just go into some of the sciences of that and actually making a healthy seed, what to look for, all that kind of stuff. Some of the stuff we have covered before because we did a breeding segment. So we'll inevitably go over some of that stuff again, but it's just in a different format, and it's with some really badass people. Fuck, dude, Terpene's fucking badass. Trust me, but it's just with it's gonna be a fucking cool segment, and everybody, all three of them are gonna be one of them are gonna be in each episode. So
sweet.
Fuck yeah,
looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. All of them for real I've grown all their gear. Seattle, I grew his Seattle Chronic. I grew my outdoor hemp stuff that I did for a few years. We did only volunteers this year, pretty much, but we just, bro, that market, we try to do just straight flower, and it's there, it's just not there enough to like for us. Dude, this is me and my parents, and I live 7 hours away, so they're pretty much doing all the work. It's basically me. I if you could say it anyway, I definitely helped them, but I wasn't there to do a lot of the work. But his seeds for almost all of it. Him and Hoku, who we talked about with
Yeah.
for almost all of it. All so fucking vigorous, super terpy. I did some THC crosses with those that are super badass and terpy. UFOs, just dude, he's gonna do the after the seeds episode, I think, and he is just super unique and super creative in how he sells his seeds. He's all over.
Yeah, I was on that. I was on that. You did a collab with him. I was on that. I jumped on that episode for a second when you guys did his podcast on Instagram. I jumped on for like 30 minutes. It was you guys were dude. I can't wait to hear him talk. It was dope.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the third episode with the after you make the seeds. Now what the fuck do you do with them? Like, you just made a tent and you got 6,000 seeds sitting there. Like, you can grow. What are you gonna do with them now? And so
you get a seed. You get some seeds. You get some seeds. You get some seeds.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like that anymore, man. It's there's a lot of people making seeds, and you have to be very, very good to stand out. So
sweet.
They're all badasses, and I've been following their work for a long time and collecting them for a long time. And I'm super geeked to have them on.
Nice. And then we're going to have some more people come back for Bourbon in the Bag episodes. We got some roundtable stuff coming. That takes us basically up to 2024.
Yo.
You guys have been listening to us for a year and a few months after that. We were only supposed to do this show once a month, and we're doing fucking 4 times a month. Sometimes
so
5.
Dude, yeah, we like, at first we were like, okay, once a month. And then we were talking, we're like, well, once every 3 weeks. And we're like, oh, that's kind of weird. Okay, twice a month. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, every fucking week. But I've loved it, dude. It's fun.
Every second. Every
You know,
second. Our Sunday practices are fun too, where we just get
yeah,
baked and fucking talk about the show, and then we
yeah,
fucking record on Mondays most of the time. So on fucking Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, me and Big Earl have a little pep talk, get high, have some
yeah,
laughs. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
yeah, yeah. Go over like we don't really like write this show, I don't think, but we want to make sure we go over certain topics that we keep
Yeah.
it, you know, and we
Yeah,
flow.
we have to. You got to get the flow. It's all.
Yeah,
I've said this from day one when I started the podcast, the fucking Chronicles. If it doesn't flow, it's no go.
yeah,
So it's just it's gotta flow right. So we meet for a fucking hour, fucking do our shit, talk our shit, smoke our weed, and fucking okay, you got it good. I'll see you Monday. And then you got guests on too. You got to talk about a little about the show, about the guests too, what you put together. So you're putting together a nice little show together, and it's just an outline just to keep the show flowing. But I
yeah,
mean, sometimes the shit goes off topic. Sometimes you get too high. And sometimes you have some fun and you have some laughs, and that's what it's all about. Just
heck yeah,
shooting shit and having a good time getting high with people you love and care about. Yeah, we got a fun list of people coming on. And we love people talking to us on our fucking DMing us and sending us emails and YouTube. We appreciate everybody who fucking comments on all of our shit. So what you got coming down the pipe with Regal Beagle plans?
Regal Beagle. So we have. I'm trying to get into some feminized. Um, it's very much about timing. We talked about that with Autoflowers, but with all of it, it's about timing. And honestly, you know what's been the worst for me? Finding an area that I can spray it every day, because you have to move that. I don't want to spray all my plants, so I have to move it, and then I have to let it dry, and then I have to bring it back. And my gardening is not like if when I garden, it's usually like 4 or 5 hours in a row. I'm not trying to like come back to that day, if that makes sense. And sometimes way more than that, but like usually I'm on a trimming or something and trying to have the garden work behind me. So that's not super has not been super good for me so far, but I'm getting it, and it's going to be a thing. But I just took down the peach stank. That peach stank, I found a male of it that was in veg, so fucking peachy, and stacked pretty nice in fucking flower. He just a really nice male. And I hit some the lava cake, which I know you liked. I hit the nightmare.
Ooh, I smoked that. I smoked that on Friday. Me and Mrs.
Yeah,
Weedman had 2 joints of the lava cake. Two.
dude. I'm really excited about some of these seeds because, like, I just love all those peach tank expressions on the ladies were so good and just so fun. And the male looked really good and fun, and he finished cool colors. And I'm geek, dude. I hit the stanky haze, the lava cake, the nightmare OG, the sparkling wine. Uh, I hit like just some fucking the orange Solif too. Dude, that orange Solif 2 came out there so terpy. Uh, all of them did, but like that orange Solif 2, it's gonna be a dope
That
wine.
orange soul, that orange soul is fucking the one that you gave me, dude. Is fucking, dude. Like I'll always say, it smells like I fucking in an orange blossom fucking field.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's such a different plant too. You know,
I have
there's not a
one
lot of
little
that out
hat.
there.
I have one little half nug left of that one. That fucking you brought. I mean, I had a lot of it, and but I savored. I got one little piece left.
You want? I have an extra
I like it
solo
because
cup.
I don't even have it smoked yet because I like just going in. Oh yeah, and close it back
the,
up.
the toke for the day. I have a solo cup. You want to grow it on your next run?
Fuck you! I ain't gonna say no.
I got a couple extra solo cups probably of it down there somewhere.
Oh, I'll grow that. That's it.
Fucking
Mrs. Weedman likes that fucking one too. So
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
else?
Yeah, I
Oh,
love it.
you got something cool coming, right? Your line. What
Oh,
line you
yeah,
got?
those nutrients. We're
Mm-hmm.
trucking along, bro. We have it. I think we're in our final testing, which you're doing some, and
Yeah, starting. I'm
we,
in two
yeah,
weeks.
yeah, fuck yeah, I'm geeked for it, bro. And I've been running it for a long time. I love it. I have one table that I usually run something else just because that's my ways, but it takes me just as long to do my one table as it does to do my other three because these fucking nutrients for me balance my pH. They're stable for at least a few days because I run a 7-day res. That's hard as fuck to get. Usually I'm getting like 48 hours. These I'm getting 72 before I have to readjust them. Not that that's a huge deal, because after one readjustment, usually maybe two, you can usually finish it out. For me, at least, two bottles, dude. Like I
I
can tell you
love it.
this.
I can't
I
wait.
kind of made fun. I was what GH used to have before they were bought by bad guys. I'm sure they still do have a two part, and I was always I used it a couple times. I was like, this fucking two part, but it's pretty similar. My biggest difference is that I have multiple forms of nitrogen and potassium. And when we're making it with a soil, and with that soil, I mean, you're talking probably 4 or 5, maybe even 6 different kinds of each of those, which isn't talked about a lot. I don't know if there's much science behind it, but in my garden, when I hunt 40, 50 plants at a time that are all different lineage, it was very hard for me to find a line that I didn't see deficiencies on a plant. And as I started to mix lines together, I noticed that I could get rid of some of that, even though I was running the same. I'd run this line and this line at 50% or 40% each, and just not run it at 100%. Or I'd add this kind of PK booster and make sure that it was a different form of potassium and phosphorus. One might be, I have 2 partners with it, which has been badass because the one's a chemist and we kind of went over everything, and he explained stuff to me that I didn't understand, and mostly about stability and how to hold what I wanted stable. And it's been badass. I've been keeping even some bottles in my garage just to kind of be like, let's see what they do, And they've been out there now it's only been 6 months, this last batch. But dude, I'm geeked about it, bro. And the soil's gonna be fucking badass. It's gonna take away a lot of people's problems because it's gonna be, you can overwater anything, but it's gonna be, since it's mostly cocoa and perlite based, it's going to be hard to overwater. And when you come in, kind of with our idea and our philosophy, there is like a synthetic kind of approach, and you use it that way, bro, it just kills. That's what I do. I grow all my shit in a 1-gallon pot, and I fucking love it. And so we're gonna try to bring it to people so you can buy kits. You can buy, one fucking pot and a couple seeds, and come with some of our nutrients too, and boom, everything's right
One-stop
there
shop.
for you. Yeah,
One-stop shop.
dude, I'm geeked on it. So
sweet. I love the Regal Beagle line. It's great stuff, man. All the fucking your artwork for your seeds, and the way it comes in. You should do the box sets and stuff, dude. So nice work on that, and keeping it looking so clean and nice. And the Regal Beagle, man, I love it. Jethro, baby.
Yeah, little fucker. We got pictures. I had to take a picture of him camping because this dude won't shut up. We're like camping. It's dope. It's called Tenter. It's like an Airbnb, but for fucking tents. And some of these people set them up for you, and they're like safari style with like an air mat, or like not even air, like a memory foam mattress up on a deck and shit. But they're off of trails and stuff in these big state parks, and not all of them, but the ones we did. And so people walk by, not like real close, but by a path. You can hear him. This dog, he's a hound, just howling his ass off, running around, freaking out. We had to lock him up in the tent. He's sitting there just green, just all pissed off because his brothers can hang. Dude, he's such a little. We bring all that energy.
Jethro's the goat.
We bring all that energy.
Jethro's the goat. All right, man.
Dude, I can say the same about 8 decades too, bro. I loved all your packaging and shit.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. It's just a cool time to be able to do a lot of this stuff, and it's
man.
It's dope. People forget that sometimes. It's a cool time to be doing it. As shitty as it is, sometimes it's hard to remember.
It's a cool time to. It's a cool time to be in. It's a cool time to be in weed. That's it. I love it. It's my passion. 8 decades. We got some plans, but you know what? We got our own sticker now. The Grow Hour.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Mrs.
Cool.
Weedman put that on 8decades.com. Check it out on there. We got new stickers, so reach out to Big Earl or I. So we got some cool. I'll post them soon. I just haven't done it yet. So, but everybody, man, love you out there. Thanks for listening to
Thanks,
our
guys.
show. We appreciate you, Big Earl. Tell them what they shouldn't or should not do.
Yeah, don't forget the CalMag. I know we didn't get into a lot of that, but add some CalMag, you'll be good.
Don't forget the CalMag, everybody. Peace. Check out our cannabis lifestyle brand online at 8decades.com. Our custom smokes and accessories are perfect for your coffee table, bedroom nightstand, or kitchen counter. They're designed for you to show them off. The Canna community is also loving our hemp and cotton blend t-shirts, sweatshirts, scarves, and hats, finished off with our 8 Decades logo. We've got some awesome long-lasting goods that will be your favorite for years to come. 8 Decades, because a 9th decade of cannabis prohibition isn't acceptable.